Okay, all right. Well, we will go ahead and get kicked off. I know we may have a few more joining us later. My name is Laura McNeese, and I'm the Director of Career Services at TCC. We also have many of our other great career services staff members with us here today. We are hosting these employer showcases throughout the semester, so be sure to watch your email and our social media for other ones coming up. We are here to help you get ready for employment. So whether that's with a resume review, a mock interview, we even have a professional clothing closet. So if you need clothing for your interview or for work, please don't hesitate to reach out to us about that. Okay. And thank you all again for being here today. I will follow up with an email after this is over with all the information that's shared today as well too. So if you missed something, don't panic too much because I will send an email after this is over. All right, and we are so excited to have Hillcrest with us here today to talk about their careers in nursing, and I'm going to hand it off to Haley.
Thanks so much, Laura, and thank you guys all for joining us today. We were actually just talking about how we were a little nervous about the rolling power outages in the area. So I'm so glad that you guys all were able to get on and join us. And I hope that we'll be able to give you some good information for, like Laura said, career planning for those of you who are graduating soon. We have a lot to talk to you about what it's like to be a new grad nurse at Hillcrest. And even for those of you who are new to the nursing program or just starting down this path, we have some opportunities for you too within the hospital to gain some experience and kind of get your foot in the door in a clinical setting. So that's what we are hoping to talk to you about today. To help me do that, I have a couple of people with me, and so I will go ahead and just introduce us really quickly. My name is Haley, and I am one of the nurse recruiters for Hillcrest Medical Center, which is the largest Hillcrest campus in the Tulsa area. We are located just outside of downtown at 11th and Utica. With me in the office here is one of our nursing managers, Erin. She manages one of our cardiac med-surg units here at the hospital. And so she'll have some good information to share with you too in just a moment. And then we also have two representatives from Hillcrest Hospital South, which is our largest sister facility. It is in the South Tulsa / Broken Arrow area, right at 91st and 169. And so Kathy and Stephanie are here with us as well to share some opportunities at South. So Hillcrest is a 9-facility hospital system. We have facilities all throughout Northeast Oklahoma. Like I mentioned, Hillcrest Medical Center and Hillcrest South are our two largest, and both are going to offer you a lot of opportunities to experience some really unique patient care. We are very proud to be able to offer a lot of specialized services to Tulsa that no other hospital in town can offer. And so you have a lot of just really cool opportunities with us. As far as Hillcrest Medical Center is concerned, I'm going to just run through really quickly some of our nursing units. We have several med-surg floors, all of which are going to offer you a little bit of a specialty, including an orthopedic floor, a renal, a neuro and stroke unit, a respiratory floor, a general post-op, and a dedicated COVID unit at the moment, of course. Outside of med-surg, we also have several critical care floors, including 2 adult ICUs, or 3 adult ICUs rather, I'm sorry. Our medical surgical ICU, which specializes in neuro patients. We also have a leading cardiovascular ICU for the city of Tulsa, which is able to offer certain procedures and different levels of care in Tulsa that no other hospital can match. We also have the only burn ICU in Northeast Oklahoma, one of only 2 burn centers in the whole state. And so we're really proud to be able to offer that as well. We also have a very robust surgical services department, a very busy ER as well. And if you're interested in other areas of the cardiac realm, We have a couple of floors there. We see a lot of heart failure patients, do a lot of cardiac surgeries as well. And then health, we have a level 3 NICU, so some pretty sick babies that we take care of here at Hillcrest Medical Center. We also have a high-risk labor and delivery, as well as a postpartum unit and a female med-surg floor as well within our women's center. So those are just a few of the offerings at Hillcrest Medical Center for you as a nursing student and as a new grad nurse. And then I'll let Kathy talk to you a little bit about what Hillcrest South offers as well, because they have some really unique things there as well.
Hi there. Okay, so like she said, we are the largest sister facility of Hillcrest, Maine. We do employ about 1,000 employees. We have pretty much everything just in a smaller area. So we have our medical floor, our surgical floor. We also have our progressive care unit where we have Oklahoma Heart Institute. And then we also have an emergency room. We have a cath lab. We do a cardiac rehab program that a lot of people come in as outpatient for. And, you know, our NICU and labor delivery and women's center is all on our second floor. We don't have the specialties. Our ICU is just a regular ICU. So we will have all types of patients. And it's just a lot smaller facility, but we do, you know, utilize everything and keep every patient in there.
And then I want to turn it over for just a moment to Erin Patrick. She is the manager of our 4-heart cardiology floor. She is a very experienced cardiac nurse. She started with us here as a nurse, worked up to an educator, and was an educator for us for many years before becoming a nurse manager. So she has a lot of experience and knows the hospital, particularly Oklahoma Heart Institute, inside and out. So I'm going to let her talk to you for just a moment about some opportunities and kind of what to expect as a new grad.
Hello. I want to apologize first off. I did not put makeup on this part of my face. So I apologize for that. But like Haley said, I am Erin. I am the manager of 4-Heart, which is a cardiac telemetry unit. A little bit about myself and my journey with Hillcrest. I started in our CVICU in 2016, straight out of school, baby new grad, very scary, very fun. And then I worked there for about 2 years, helped establish our ECMO and our LVAD program. So our Oklahoma Heart Institute within Hillcrest has an amazing opportunity to provide adult ECMO and LVAD services that nowhere else in this portion of Oklahoma actually offers those services. So what that means is we have the capability to put adult patients on a very large ECMO machine, which is a cardiac and pulmonary bypass machine to allow them to recover from diseases such as cardiogenic shock, as well as COVID and other respiratory illnesses like ARDS. We work very closely with our South ICU. We cannulate many of their patients and bring them over to our main campus. So that's a really cool opportunity we have with our sister facility. We also have an LVAD program. So an LVAD program is an assistive device that we put in patients' hearts that are for a heart failure population. These patients usually go on to get heart transplants and things like that. And so that's a very exciting opportunity for us since our region and demographic of patients mostly have heart failure. So that's a really cool opportunity for us. After that, I became the educator. So I helped educate the entire Oklahoma Heart Hospital. So that includes the 5th floor. Our 5th floor is a post-surgical floor where patients who come out of the ICU after having open heart surgery and a variety of other illnesses or procedures like that go to that floor. Very cool floor. They work very closely with physical therapies and a lot of other acute therapy teams so that they can get their patients rehabbed and out of the hospital. And then our 2nd floor, which is our interventionalist floor, are patients who come straight out of cath lab. Those are your patients who are coming out with, who come with heart attacks, go to the cath lab, get stents, We also have a lot of really cool procedures, including a TAVR program, and a lot of other, like a Watchman program that we have here that a lot of other facilities don't do. So our Oklahoma Heart Services is very cutting edge. We have a lot of really cool things that no other Tulsa hospital does. And then my floor, for Heart, is kind of the nerdy, if you are a Harry Potter fan, we are the Ravenclaws of Oklahoma Heart. We take care of a lot of heart failure patients who come in with pulmonary hypertension, also other chronic diseases that they're having acute exacerbations of. And that's a really big deal if, as you learn in your nursing programs, that's the majority of patients who come into the hospital, and they're getting sicker and sicker. And so working with those patients, providing education so that they don't come back to the hospital is a really big deal. So we have the great opportunity to help those patients stay out of the hospital. Other services we provide in Oklahoma Heart, we have a heart failure clinic. So these patients come in outpatient, work very closely with our providers to get their heart failure under control and get their disease process controlled so that they can live very full, happy, healthy lives. And then we also provide a variety of other outpatient services like cardiac rehab. We have a lot of preemptive things that we can do for our patients to keep them out of the hospital, get them worked up if they have any type of genetic disorders or anything like that. So that's a really cool opportunity for us. Big things in our Oklahoma Heart program that we like to talk about is we have a critical care residency program in our ICUs, not just CVICU, but med-surg ICU and burn as well. So we have a really cool program for our critical care nurses where they go through this residency and they get all the tools they need to be a very great critical thinking and successful critical care nurse. Because as we found out as COVID hit us, you know, ICU nurses are just so important. And then we are currently developing an acute care residency program as well. So all these nurses are going to be so developed and have those critical thinking skills that you don't necessarily get exposed to in nursing school, but we're going to get you prepared and make you feel comfortable before you come off that orientation path. So those are the big things that we talk about. Anything else you want me to talk about, Haley?
No, I think you're good.
Okay. All right. Awesome.
Thanks so much, Erin. I want to let Stephanie with Hillcrest South talk a little bit as well about opportunities for new grads there, because like we've already talked about, they have some unique things to offer as well. So Stephanie, if you want to talk for a little bit about South, the floor is yours.
Okay, well, thank you. I am really grateful to have the opportunity to talk about my favorite subject, and that's our new grad residency at South. We started it about a year ago. We're getting ready to start with our third cohort this week on Thursday. We offer a one-year residency program on our med-surg floors, which is 4-tower, 5-tower, and 6-tower. 4-tower is just our general med-surg, medical problems, abdominal surgeries. We might see some cardiac issues sometimes and some orthopedic surgeries as well. 5-tower is our main post-op floor. So that's going to be a lot of orthopedic surgeries and also abdominal surgeries and general surgery, back surgery. 6-tower is our progressive care unit. That's our cardiac floor. We also have 8 kind of step-down cardiac beds there. So that's a pretty popular floor. So I'm the med-surg educator, and I've been here about a year. I came here just to start the residency program, so it's pretty exciting. We offer 1 year, 12 weeks of weekly meetings that kind of coincide with clinical orientation on the floor, followed by monthly meetings for the rest of the year. In the second half of our year, we do an evidence-based project with our new grads to give them opportunity to grow their critical thinking and their research skills and quality improvement. We also include a online curriculum through the National Council of State Boards of Nursing that has kind of a 5-point focus on nursing professionalism. So it's communication and teamwork, patient and family-centered care, quality improvement, informatics, and evidence-based practice. So that's an online thing that we do kind of concurrent with our meetings. And then we have a lot of time in our meetings to discuss case studies, discuss these professional concepts, and provide a lot of peer support. One of the greatest things about our residency meetings is just the built-in group support of people that are in the same boat, getting to share with each other and discuss things that are going on in real time, and kind of make it through together. Leadership provides a lot of support for our new grads. Our CNO and our CEO are both very invested in our program, which is really great to have that support. And it's been successful so far. We have, I think, 19 new grads that we've put through the program in 2020, and we've got 13 starting on Thursday, and we hope to get up to 30 by the end of the year. So we're really excited about it, very happy with it, and I appreciate the chance to tell you about it.
Awesome. I will also want to just jump in a little bit, because along with the new grad residency we also have what we call a peri-op class in our surgical department, where we take new grads and then we take about 3 to 4. They're actually in a class for probably about 6 months, where you do classwork. You have to take a test and pass at the end of the classroom. You are working as an RN though the whole time, but you will discuss each kind of specialty at each time and then get checked off in all of the different specialties like gynae. We currently don't do CV right now because our doctor moved states, so we are looking to get that back soon. But all the modalities, robotics, all of that, we want new grads. So if you're really interested in surgery department, definitely look into that.
All right. Thank you guys both so much for sharing that. Really quickly, I do have a PowerPoint that has some more information about our rates of pay and our NCLEX review course and our externships. So I am going to pull that up really quickly. And then after this, we will definitely open it up for questions, because I'm sure you guys have some questions for us by now. Okay. So I've already kind of touched on this about Hillcrest Medical Center. And then we've also talked a lot already about some of these things that we have brought to the community of Tulsa that we are kind of leading the way in right now, including being a stroke certified facility. So we're a leader in stroke care for the Tulsa area. Some of those cardiac interventions that Aaron touched on earlier, LVAD and ECMO, are listed here as well. And we're still really, really proud of all of those specialty types of procedures and care that we're able to provide. Now, for those of you who will be graduating from your nursing program within the next year or so, these next few slides are kind of geared toward you. Particularly our nurse externship. Both Hillcrest Medical Center and Hillcrest South will be offering an externship this summer. It's an 8-week program. You're able to work up to 24 hours per week. And we offer externships on all of those nursing units that we touched on earlier. So if you're interested in critical care, if you're interested in med surg or women's health, we have externship opportunities available for you in all of those units. And it's just a really good clinical experience. I would definitely recommend to every nursing student that you do an externship at some point in your final year of the allows you to kind of see and do a little bit more than you're often able to do in clinicals. So in addition to that, you're getting into the hospital, you're making connections with the nurse managers, with some of the nurses on the floor. And so it's just a really good transitional experience for you that's going to set you up for success when you graduate. Now, like I said, we are about to start accepting applications for our summer externship. The month of March is when we will be accepting applications for our program, which starts in June. We typically do interviews in early April and then would communicate to you as quickly as possible whether or not you've been accepted and what unit you've been placed on. And then we'll get started with your orientation process, and you'll be able to work for the entire months of June and July, up to 24 hours per week. Now in the summer, or excuse me, in the spring and the fall, we do a little bit of a shortened hours commitment for you, because most students are much busier during those semesters with classes and things than you are during the summer. So during the spring and fall, you only have to work up to 12 hours per week, but for still an 8-week period each semester. And you can see our rates of pay there. Our externs earn $10.50 per hour plus shift differentials, and we do welcome externs on day shift, night shift, weekends. We're very, very flexible in terms of when you schedule, how often you work. And our externship is also unique in that we allow you to float to other units other than the one that you were initially assigned to, in an effort to allow you to see and do just absolutely as much as possible while you're here. So you can really experience several floors if you would like to. If you get assigned to a floor that you really, really enjoy, you can work all of your hours there. So you have a lot of flexibility in how you do that. Now, for anybody who is a little earlier on in the nursing program, scholarships, it's definitely something that might interest you. We offer nursing scholarships up to $2,500 a semester and a $10,000 maximum. We do ask you for a 6-month work commitment once you graduate for each semester that you received assistance, up to a 2-year maximum on that commitment. So that's the same commitment that we offer for our sign-on bonus. So you're not working or committing to anything extra that none of our other new grads would be. And, you know, it's definitely helpful to kind of start you off on the right foot when you graduate, not have so many student loans. Just really take that off of your plate for while you're in school, and one less thing to worry about. So if anybody would be interested in our scholarship program, the email that you can reach out to is on this slide here, educationassistance@hillcrest.com. And they'll be able to give you more information if you have questions. You can see we still have plenty of time for anyone who's interested to apply for assistance for the fall semester. Your application deadline there is July 1st. So please keep this in mind if this is something that would be a benefit to you. We love to have nursing students and new grads here with us at Hillcrest, and so our scholarship is just one more benefit that we like to be able to offer to you. So please definitely take advantage of it if this is something that would be beneficial for you. Now, our current new grad rate of pay for anyone who's just graduated nursing school is going to be $24.56 per hour. And you can see our shift differentials there as well. This is our current rate of pay for anybody graduating, you know, this coming December or even in 2022 or 2023. You know, there's a good chance that this rate of pay will increase before you're ready to graduate. We are constantly updating our rates of pay and doing our best to stay competitive within the market. And so this is something that we reevaluate often. So keep that in mind, that by the time you're ready to graduate, we could be offering a little bit more. But as of today, our rate of pay there is $24.56. We're also offering an $11,000 sign-on bonus for all of our full-time bedside positions, including new grads. So that would be offered to you in exchange for a 2-year work commitment, just the same as the scholarship maximum commitment of 2 years. As long as you remain in a full-time bedside position for those 2 years, you are fulfilling that commitment. And, you know, we don't want it to feel like a ball and chain. We don't want it to feel like you're here because you have to be here. We want you to be at Hillcrest because you want to be at Hillcrest. And so if there was ever a reason why you needed to leave before your 2-year commitment was complete, we would prorate your bonus. which basically just means that we would give you credit for the time that you've already worked off of that commitment. So hypothetically, if you had to leave, move out of the area, say, for example, after 1 year, we would only ask you to pay back half of your bonus because we would give you credit for that year that you worked. We're also offering a $6,000 referral bonus right now. So if you get hired on at Hillcrest and then you refer one of your classmates and they get hired on as well, you would be eligible for the sign-on bonus and that $6,000 referral bonus. So that adds up really quickly. There is no cap on how many referrals you can have. We will continue to reward you for bringing your friends and your classmates to Hillcrest because, again, we want this to be a place that you want to work, and who wouldn't want to work with all of their best friends? So we are more than happy to have all of you guys come and work with us and reward you for that as well. Now, one thing that Hillcrest offers that is kind of unique is the senior nurse tech position. This is really a loophole that allows us to get you started before you pass boards. And it's a good option for anybody who really needs or wants to work during that limbo period of time between when you graduate and when you take your nursing boards. For some people that can be, 4 to 6 weeks or sometimes longer before you have a test date. And so the senior nurse tech position allows you to work in the capacity of a tech on the unit that you've accepted an RN position on. So you can kind of get a feel for the unit, start to meet your coworkers, just really kind of get comfortable on the unit and ease into your transition to an RN position. You can see there that our rate of pay for the senior nurse tech position is $15.50 per hour, plus some shift differentials there as well. But the really unique thing about the senior nurse tech position is that you do not have to work during this time period. It's just an option that you have because some students really like to be able to work, but we expect a lot of students too to prefer to really spend all of that time studying and focusing on passing their boards. And so if you would rather not work during this time, that is an option that you would have as well. The benefit in that scenario is that you can still attend the week-long classroom-based nursing orientation that all of our new nurses attend. You can get that out of the way early, get paid at $15.50 to sit through that orientation. And then when you do pass your boards, you won't have to wait that extra week to go through that classroom orientation. You can instead just hit the floor almost the next day after you pass your boards and become licensed. So we also offer an NCLEX review through Kaplan. We have had great success with Kaplan. We've been using them for several years. They're really a pretty robust preparation for you for your tests. So we're happy to offer that to all of our new grads at no charge. But for those who choose to start as a senior nurse tech, you'll actually get paid to attend Kaplan as well. So not only is the review course free for you, but you get paid to attend it. It's typically a 4-day course. And when possible, hopefully soon, we like to offer it in person at our campus so that, you can kind of get a feel for, start to get comfortable at Hillcrest and spend some time here. So keep that in mind as well. The Kaplan review is a great opportunity. And we definitely encourage all of our new grads to take advantage of it. As much support and preparation as possible before your test ensures that you're going to have a good outcome and you're going to pass the first time. So that's always our goal for all of our new grads. And then I've got some contact information here for you. I'm so sorry I don't have Kathy's contact information, the recruiter at Hillcrest South, on here. These names that you're seeing on your screen now are the 3 nurse recruiters for Hillcrest Medical Center, including myself. And then on the next page here, I do have a QR code that you can submit a question to if you have questions. And Kathy is included in that. So if you have any questions for Hillcrest South, please feel free to either reach out to me and I can pass along your information to Kathy, or if you would like to direct a question through the QR code that I'll pull up in just a minute, you're welcome to do that as well. And we can make sure it gets to all of the people that you're interested in talking to. So let me go ahead and pull up that QR code for you guys. Now, one thing that wasn't touched on in the PowerPoint, but that I wanted to talk to you about are nurse tech positions. For anybody who has not yet graduated or is not yet in their final couple of semesters, you know, for those of you who are still early on in the nursing program, if you're interested in getting some experience in the clinical setting in the hospital, we love to hire nursing students as nurse techs. A lot of our units will be able to accept PRN techs. So you're just working kind of as needed, usually a couple of weekends a month. But if you're able to work full-time hours, 3 12-hour shifts a week, you know, we would love to work with you in that capacity as well. You would still have to attend about a week-long classroom orientation. So it may be a good option for you guys while your school is still online, or if you would like to look into positions in the summer, if you have some availability to attend orientation, you would attend a week-long classroom-based orientation and then a couple of weeks of orientation on the floor, so that you feel comfortable when you come in to work. So anybody who's interested in tech positions, please reach out to us as well. We would be more than happy to talk to you about what we have open, or all of our positions should be posted on our website there at hillcrest.jobs. And I am going to go ahead and pull this down unless anybody has any questions, and I'll put it back up. So what questions do you guys have? I know I see a couple here in the chat I'm going to respond to, but does anybody else have questions either for me, Erin, our nurse manager at Hillcrest Maine, or Kathy, or Stephanie from Hillcrest South?
I just have a quick question.
Yeah.
My name is Jared McDonald. I'm actually already a registered CNA in Oklahoma. And so I am actively looking for nurse tech positions while I am in school. The only question that I have is what do you think sets Hillcrest apart from St. John or from St. Francis? Everything that I've heard today sounds fantastic, so I'm definitely interested. What sets you guys apart from the other 2 major hospitals?
That's an excellent question. Definitely the first thing that always comes to my mind is our culture. Hillcrest and almost more so Hillcrest South they have a family feel to them. You know, it's a very inclusive environment. It's a very supportive environment. We offer a lot of opportunity for internal growth. And so that has led to, over the years, you know, most of the people in our management positions, just like Erin, are people who started here as new grads and were able to kind of work their way up into new positions. And so that definitely lends itself to an environment that, you know, we're a teaching hospital. We love, you know, the opportunity to kind of take in students and new grads under our wings, so to speak, and kind of bring them up through Hillcrest. So for me, if I were to answer that question, it would definitely be our culture. I think it just can't be beat in Tulsa.
I have to agree with that. And I'll tell you, you know, from South at least, we really look for that culture. The character is what we really go for. And I don't care if you work in housekeeping or if you are a doctor, everyone will know our administration team. Like Bennett, our CEO, he will know you. He will come say hi to you. He remembers your name, which I don't know how he does to 1,000 employees. It's crazy. But I really think that we do have Hillcrest, Maine, and us. We have a great culture. And, you know, we're not always going to be there right now, but we are still currently striving to have a great culture.
We had just a few questions in the chat. Do you know what the base pay for nurse tech is?
Sorry, I was muted. Yes, so for full-time positions, our nurse tech pay starts at $11.92 per hour, but would increase from there based on any relevant experience. So if you've ever worked as a CNA before, ever done any kind of patient care, we would be able to offer you more money for that. And then if you are interested in PRN positions as a nurse tech, our rate of pay for that is $15.50, the same as our senior nurse tech.
Great. And I think Christina raised her hand. Christina, if you want to go ahead.
Hi.
Yes. Hi. My name is Christina Morris. I usually go by Christy. I am a formal employee with Hillcrest South, and I will tell you all, I desperately miss you all. I loved how Bennett would just pop in every once in a while and come by and say hi. And I was in the hall. I used to work as a housekeeper. Unfortunately, I had to leave Hillcrest because I was rear-ended at 75 miles an hour on 44, and I've suffered extreme injuries with a foot surgery and a full rotator cuff surgery. So I have full range of motion now, but I still cannot lift and function like I was as a CNA, as I was as a housekeeper. I desperately want to come back, but I don't have enough office skills or experience, should I say, other than maybe clerical with some PRN temp agency stuff. I'm currently taking biology, psychology, and chemistry. And I want to come back. I was taking my CNA, but I just got to take the full thing for the test. Just with my health issues, it's been difficult to go back. But if I could talk to somebody later on one-on-one to kind of make a plan to come back, whether it be, you know, a PRN position is what I'm most likely interested with to kind of get me going back in.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, right now for our CTA positions, we are requiring a little bit of experience because we just had a couple classes come through that we did teach a lot. So I would recommend, why don't you go online, because we do have plenty of clerical positions open, and you're definitely more than welcome to apply to those. Absolutely.
Yeah, and
I would like to come back as a housekeeper, but because of my health, I'm not able to do that at this time. It could be another 6 months to a year before I can pick up, 25 pounds.
Well, and I just was going to chime in and say too that we have positions elsewhere in the hospital at different times. So you might see what we have posted right now, but things like working in our call center, or if you're open to working in the dietary department, in the kitchen, or as a diet hostess, those positions are options for you as well if you're looking to get back into the hospital.
With your internship for the 8 weeks, are you do you have to be like accepted into your pre-nursing, taking those classes and everything in order to be accepted for that scholarship? I mean, the internship?
Yes, actually, that's an excellent question. I'm glad you brought that up. So to be eligible for the externship, you would have to be in your final 2 semesters of the nursing program or your summer before. So I think TCC has some May graduating nurses as well. So for example, if you graduated in May, you would be eligible to do our summer, fall, and spring externship, all leading up to your graduation. If you graduate in December, you would be eligible to do the spring, summer, and fall of your graduating year. So it would have to be once you are already in the nursing program and leading into your final year.
I have a question as well. So I am a concurrent TCC student in my second semester. And I just wanted to clarify, I would have to finish my nursing program first, correct?
Correct. To qualify for the externship, you have to be in the nursing program. You would be eligible though if you're interested in like a tech position or something with us. You could do that at any point in time before you enter your nursing program or after. But for the externship, that is specific to nursing students in the nursing program at TCC.
Okay, because I am going to be entering this fall of 21 into the program. So I was wondering, maybe I can start from a tech and then go to an RN in the ICU maybe later on.
Yeah, you can definitely apply for tech positions now anywhere in the hospital and work as a tech until you're at the point in your nursing program where you would be eligible for the externship. We have a lot of nursing students who take that path.
Okay. And last question, would I have to have my CNA by any chance?
It's not required, but it is kind of a nice plus. So if you already have it, that's great. If not, it's not required. We will do on-the-job training for our nurse techs.
All right, thank you.
Is the pay different in between the main campus and the South campus?
No, we are consistent in almost all of our positions between the two campuses.
And we did have a few more questions come in over the chat, so I'll just read those out loud. I'm Jenny, my major is pre-nursing. I'm an international student. I want to know about studying CNA nursing, and is it capable for me to get a job at the medical center?
Yes to the question of can you work I think you said you're a CNA student, if that's correct. So like I said, you don't have to have your CNA already in place. If that's something that you're working on, that's great. But you can definitely apply for positions and we'll consider you for those positions before you have your CNA.
Great, thank you. The next one is any nurse tech positions available for med-surg?
Yes, definitely. I think I open at both facilities. The little bit of a difference is right now we are requiring a little bit of experience, but we will definitely look at that candidate who is in nursing school. I think I do have a couple part-time positions open just for that occasion. If you're in school and you can't commit to the 312 hours, we don't normally hire PRN, but if need be, we can talk about that. But I know HMC that they do on-the-job training.
Yes, and we do at the main campus, we do have both full-time and PRN positions available. All of our positions are going to be posted on our website at hillcrest.jobs under the title Patient Care Assistant. I know we call them techs, but their official title is Patient Care Assistant. So if you're looking on the website, that's what you'll see. And you're more than welcome to apply to any of those positions that you see there, both for both campuses.
Great. The next one, with PRN for the nurse tech, is that as needed for the floor, or is that where you pick specific days?
So if you are offered a nurse tech position, it will be to a specific floor. But of course, all of our employees at times may have to float to other units, but you would be hired to a specific floor and a specific manager, even for PRN positions.
The next one is, I had my CNA, but my license expired. Could I still get a job with Hillcrest with my license expired?
Yes, as Kathy pointed out, Hillcrest South right now is looking for a little bit of experience, which if you have your CNA license already, I'm guessing you probably have some experience, so that would be great. But we do not require the CNA certification.
I think that's why we went to that patient care title instead of CNA, because we didn't want to keep people from not applying if they didn't have their license.
Mm-hmm.
Great. I will be graduating this coming December. Oops. Does that mean my last chance to take externship would be this semester, the fall?
So if you're graduating this December, you would be eligible for our summer externship. So both Hillcrest Medical Center and Hillcrest South will be offering a summer externship that will begin accepting applications in March. I would definitely recommend applying in March. And if you're accepted, you would be able to do both the summer and this fall. So you could potentially do 2 semesters with us.
Great. For PRN, as far as hours, is it as needed to fill in the gaps, or does the nurse tech pick the hours?
So there are PRN requirements in terms of how often you are scheduled as a PRN tech. You have to meet the minimum number of hours every scheduling period, but you can work more in addition to that. We do self-scheduling once you're off orientation, so you would be able to go into the schedule every new scheduling period and select the shifts that you'd like to work. There is some shuffling that's done on the back end by our hiring managers to make sure that every shift is covered, but we do, do our best to keep you on the schedule that you're looking for. Our PRN requirements are, is it 3 weekends in a 6 month?
It's just 3 shifts in a 6-week period.
Okay, sorry. Thanks, Erin. 3 shifts in a 6-week schedule period is the minimum. And Kathy, is that the same for you guys at South too?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Great questions and answers. Thank you all so much. Does anybody have any other questions? Feel free to unmute yourselves, or you can also type it in the chat.
Is there any other like internships or volunteer work that CNAs can do, like shadowing or anything like that? Any RNs, do they do that type of programs?
Not necessarily. You would, the externship is probably your best opportunity for that type of experience. We don't necessarily do job shadowing, but if you come in for an interview, we'd be happy to give you a tour of the facility, but we don't offer job shadowing right now. So the externship, once you're in your nursing program, would be your best bet. Or like I said, definitely apply for tech positions if that's something that you're able to commit to, and that's going to give you really probably the best experience.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Like we have another one. I have 5 years of experience as a CNA looking for a PRN position, but I only see full or part-time opened. Should I apply for a full-time and then discuss I am looking to do PRN?
I will speak only for Hillcrest Medical Center on that one. I would say go ahead and apply to any position that you're interested in, like unit wise, if you see a unit that you'd be interested in working on. And then once you apply, you'll actually talk with our tech recruiter, Desiree, and you can talk a little bit more detail about what you're looking for schedule wise, and we can see if that's something that we have available. So definitely put in your application, at least as a way to let us get in contact with you, and then we can work out some of the finer points of what you need after that.
Yeah, and unfortunately for South, I don't have any approved requisitions for PRN CNAs or CTAs. So, I don't think that would be the route to go unless you came into a part-time position. If you were able to do 2 12-hour shifts a week, then we could definitely do that.
Okay, so my situation is a little different. I have had my CNA more than once. I've let it lapse. I plan to take it again in May, but I would like to kind of go ahead and get a job. I worked for probably 3 months, but it's been several years. Would I be better off to go ahead and wait till I redo the CNA? Or what would you recommend?
Well, I think for Hillcrest Medical Center, if you wanted to go ahead and apply, we would, we would consider you for tech positions with us without your CNA. I don't know if the experience that you have is quite enough experience for some of the positions at Hillcrest South right now.
Right.
So I think Hillcrest Medical Center might be your best bet, but
okay.
Yeah, definitely don't wait for your CNA to apply. We would love to talk to you before then.
Okay, and then I can just go ahead and take it and we'll be good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect, because it's paid for, so I'd like to not waste the money.
Yeah, definitely. Well, and it's some good
Okay.
training. So we're happy to have techs who have that license, but we don't necessarily require it.
Okay, perfect. So just go online and look.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
definitely. And remember, you're looking for the patient care assistant title.
Okay, thank you.
And I just want to add something to that. We don't require it. And so you're not going to get any differential in pay. So we would pay someone with a CNA license the same as someone who hasn't had a license, who just might have experience taking care of someone. But it's
Okay.
great to have for teaching. But I just want to let you know that there is not a difference in pay.
Right.
What would distinguish the nurse tech to the externship duty wise?
That is a really good question. So they're very different jobs. As an extern, you are essentially working alongside and working as an RN. So there are a few things as an extern that you cannot do that an RN can do. And those things are distinguished by the Board of Nursing. So we follow their guidelines on what non-licensed personnel can and can't do. But for the most part, as an extern, you're getting to work as an RN. And as a nurse tech, you are doing an entirely different set of duties. Erin, do you want to speak a little bit to the differences between a tech and an extern?
Yeah. So my patient care assistants, they work mainly with ADLs with our patients, help really with mobility, bathing patients' vital signs, things like that nature. And then my externs work very closely with my nurses. So they help pass medications, they help provide really good patient assessments and things like that. So they really get hands-on with the opening parts of what you would maybe on your first couple weeks as a nurse in orientation. So you're just that much closer to feeling comfortable going into your nursing job. And the really cool thing about our externship is that you get the externship and then you're assigned a manager, but you're not necessarily nailed to that floor. So our externship, for instance, I have 3 externs right now, and usually they just will send me a text and say, hey, I want to go see what the ER would be like for a shift. And so we'll get them to the ER, or, hey, I want to go to the NICU for a shift, and we'll get them to the NICU. My patient care assistants, they are assigned to my floor and work on my floor. Now they can float to other areas too, but that's just a little different. And they'll do that after they orient on my floor, which is usually about 4 weeks. So the externs mainly will be more RN oriented assessments, medications, things like that you need in order to build your critical thinking skills as a nurse.
Great questions and information. Can I work part-time until I have the CNA?
Definitely, yes. The CNA certification is not required, and like Kathy said, it will not impact your rate of pay. So definitely don't factor that in necessarily if you are thinking of applying.
Great. And I have had my CST certification, but I let it expire. Would that be a difference in pay since I have experience?
Scrub tech experience is something that we would probably look at on a case-by-case basis and see if it would be applicable to the patient care assistant position. Whether or not you have your certification doesn't necessarily make a difference. We're really looking at your experience in that case.
Yes.
Good one. Is BLS certification required, or does Hillcrest offer that?
So it is required, but we do offer it to you. Usually what will happen is every orientation night, at least for South, we have orientation day, and then we usually have like the 3 or 4 hour BLS certification that evening, because you must receive that before you are actually out on the floor. But it is something that we will actually pay you for, your time. So, and I'm pretty sure Hillcrest does the same thing.
Yes, correct. We would allow you to take the BLS class through our education center after you've been hired if you don't already have it.
Great. I know we've got just a couple minutes before we wrap up. Does anybody have any other questions that weren't answered? No. Okay, thank you all so much. Thank you, Hillcrest, for being here and sharing so much valuable information about the opportunities available with you all. Again, we will follow up. I'll send all of our students an email with everybody's contact information from Hillcrest. So don't worry if you didn't grab that already. We are career services on campus. If you need any help preparing for your interview, updating your resume, any of those employment services, we can help you with as well too. And also for those students that are preparing to apply to the nursing program, we can help you with those preparations as well. So please just let us know. Thank you so much. Oh, I think we had one more question come in. Okay, this will be our last one. If I am wanting to begin as a CNA for experience prior to nursing school, if the externship is only 12 hours a week, could we still do CNA, for example, 1 day a week, hypothetically?
Yes, and that is a good question. We do often have employees who work here as a tech participate in the externship as well. And yes, you kind of hit the nail on the head. The externship is a very low number of hours to work. And so if you have the ability to work as a tech and an extern, that is something that we would allow you to do.
Great. Okay, well, thank you all so much again for being here. We appreciate it. And we will follow up with an email to you all students. So watch for that in the coming days. Everybody stay safe and warm, and we appreciate your time today.
Yes, thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks.